Ses. Welcome. First of all, thank you so much for your time that you decided to spend your Saturday evening with this, and I'm sorry for the delay. Since a couple of weeks, I was like fully working on this, and I hope it will worth for your time that you gave for me, and thank you so much for that. And I wanted to give you some informations and then give the words to David's first course. So this is a mixture of two projects. One is Han. It's a Turkish word, means in, and I will explain you later what it means. And the second one is MINDSCAPE, our collaboration with David. And we last year we made a collaboration in December in this place. And now our project is going to different countries, different festivals. We exhibited in Art Basel. Now we are exhibiting in Mahala for the Berlin New Media Week. At the same time, that's why we were running from one to another. It is quite stressful too. So I give the words to David. Maybe you can talk here so it can go also to the stream.
Hello. Yeah, thank you all again for coming. I really appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday evening to see this show. This show is part of Berlin New Media Week, so thank you for the organisation for supporting that. As Ralph said, we do have the show at Malhalla as well, so if you're free for the next week or two, please pop down. On the show there is more of the MINDSCAPE project. Just a background on the MINDSCAPE project. This is a project I've been developing for about 3 years. So my history is I'm a painter. However, I didn't want to just put emotion into the art pieces. I wanted to take a step back and actually put biological data into the art pieces and the environments and what I create, not just from observing them afterwards, but also during my process. So working with the route for the last year, the project has gone from strength to strength. So we're now developing systems and AI generative models for my own artwork. So I can wear a headset and just by thinking we can create digital images for my new artwork and then project map whole rooms and experiences. So that can be used in my process, and then when you can go to art exhibitions, you'll see my brain in real time of what I was thinking and what I was creating whilst I was creating the artworks as well. So that's a bit of a brief overview of MINDSCAPE. As Ralph said, we've shown at Art Basel this year. I also did a talk in Cyprus where I did a 10-week solo show. And we had a really good response from there, good investment from there as well, so that's been absolutely amazing. We do have another show to be booked in a month's time in Berlin, and then we've got our first festival of 2026 already booked in, but more details to follow on that. And then from my side as well, I'm working with the agents and advisors as well to push this into other countries, other places, hopefully New York pretty soon, but we'll see. But that's enough from me. This here is very much a route show. A lot of shows that you'll see for Berlin New Media Week, they come from teams of people, they come from venues that have full support, full tech engineers, full everything. But this has pretty much solely been built by a route. So he's not just done the creative architecture, the system design, he's done the cleaning, he's done the full setup, the full architecture, absolutely everything for this show. I don't think he slept in 2 days, so he's put his heart and soul into it. So it does really mean a lot that you're here to kind of to see this. But slowly but surely, Ralph's going to start his journey for the HANA project. On the screens, you'll see MINDSCAPE, so the artworks that are dotted around, they're built into particle systems, and that's going to be reacting to the audio as well. So it kind of builds into part of the environment of what I'd be creating in and creating work in as well. So I'll hand over to Ralph. He'll take you on his journey, step into his world, and that's enough from me. So thank you very much.
Yeah, there are more people than I expected that I don't know. I was expecting my friends to actually join to my party because I gave really a lot of things, whatever you can see, all the cables, which cable goes where, what is going where, like there is like a huge amount of work behind it. And like after the performance, we can talk about it, like what I'm using or like how, which kind of like interactions I'm writing, and let's see how it goes. And it's kind of like my first also solo like organization like slash performance. Always like with the collaboration was easier because I was like that nerd guy just next to the table, and there was always like some kind of highlight, and that's why I never needed to talk that much with the microphone. And that's like right now is a bit like challenging, but today I just want to break that because like I'm kind of trying to break some things in my life as well, and I wanted you to also think through my brain if I can reflect on you. And in that blue box there are some small gift boxes for all of you. You can just like just open it and just like send it over. There are some like earplugs also if you like disturb, because it's like completely live set. Sound might be on some points like can go out of the control, so it's like I wanted to kind of protect. You can take each of them. Some of them don't have earplugs. You can choose from the left. When it's finished, you can take the last row, I guess. Thank you so much for this. And I will not just like making music, because like I want to like talk and do some different things that is not expected from me. And I like to do things like that.
Attention passengers. This is an automated cabin transmission. Welcome aboard on Han Delta. All pre-departure checks are complete. Hull pressure confirmed. Thermal shielding active. Life support systems nominal. Inertial guidance calibrated. Propulsion array standing by for ignition. For your safety, please remain secured in your harness until we reach stable orbital velocity. Do not unstrap until the restraint indicator is extinguished. Handheld devices must remain tethered at all times. Loose objects should be stowed beneath your seat or in the side compartments. In the event of a cabin pressure change, oxygen masks will deploy automatically. Secure your own mask before assisting others. Emergency lighting strips will guide you toward the nearest access hatch. Hatch locations are displayed on the panel in front of you. During ascent, you may experience increased vibration and noise levels. This is expected. Cabin gravity will fluctuate as stabilizers engage. Please keep all personal equipment powered down until cabin crew confirm crew status. Our communication system will remain open throughout the flight. In the event of signal blackout, crew will resume transmissions when systems allow. All personnel are reminded, this vessel complies with Flight System Standard Safety Protocol 17A. Any deviation will be reported immediately to flight control. We thank you for choosing Han Delta Flight Systems. Boarding complete, cabin sealed, undocking confirmed. Prepare for departure.
Captain's log. Entry 0. Hull pressure nominal. Chronometers aligned. Navigation telemetry within acceptable error range. All systems green. If you're reading this, it means the vessel hand delta has already left assembly bay, or maybe it never did. The data stream doesn't confirm if I'm in orbit or still sitting strapped into my chair. The difference feels negligible. I can run the checklist 1,000 times, but the thought remains. Every launch is a coin toss. Not in terms of survival, no. We've engineered most of that away, but in terms of self. Which version of me leaves? Which one stays behind? I write these logs not for the crew, not for the record, but for you, whoever you are. Maybe my future self, maybe someone else, somewhere else. The logs are the only way to pin the present down. Without them, everything smears.
Good evening, Captain speaking. Yes. So if a few words about the ship you are standing in. Ham means in. It's kind of like a passage. You enter and you exit. It's not a destination. It's a place where you actually just passed. You enter from one door and stay there, and you exit from the second door. Like in the history, they were kind of like using these places as just place to stop and just stay. And I gave this game this name because there's an old Turkish song says uzun ince bir yoldayım gidiyorum gündüz gece. Means like I'm going in a narrow long way day and night. And in this song it's made in 1933, I guess. And there is he is saying that the life is like a in, life is like a on. We are always thinking that we are kind of trying to reach to a destination, but actually the life itself is this journey itself. So in that flight boxes there are some earplugs for you, maybe if I do some mistakes, and some small gifts, a mirror, a small light, just like find them all, and if you don't have, you can switch it because we are not enough people anyway. So, on the behalf of my crew, I thank you for your attention.
T-minus 10 minutes. Com check, Berlin to flight deck. Do you copy? We are green across the board. Guidance, navigation, and control all report nominal.
Captain's log. Entry 12. Orbital position stable. Orientation locked to Earth's limb. Cabin temperature 21 degrees Celsius. Life support within nominal limits. There's a kind of violence in stability. The systems insist I am holding steady, but inside the cabin nothing is steady. Thoughts reflect endlessly, folding back on themselves like light trapped between mirrors. You look once and see yourself. You look twice and see yourself, multiplied, fading, distorted. Which one is the original? Velázquez understood this centuries ago. In Las Meninas, he doesn't simply paint a scene, he designs a corridor of gazes. A child looks at the viewer. Attendants look at her. Velázquez paints himself into the frame, brush in hand, looking outward, and in the back, a mirror. The king and queen. Who is being painted? Who is watching? Where is the center? There isn't one. The canvas collapses the geometry of power into a trap for your eye. I cannot stop thinking about that. The eye as both weapon and wound. I dive into it the way some engineers dive into equations. You can calculate orbital mechanics endlessly, but at some point you're no longer measuring the planet, you're measuring your own need for precision. The eye is the same, a black circle that promises knowledge, and only ever gives you back yourself. I am not bored by this repetition, quite the opposite. Obsession is the only gravity left to me. Captain's Log. Entry 19. Trajectory correction executed. Delta V 3.2 meter per second. Fuel expenditure within margin. Residual drift corrected. There is a word for this condition, eleuteromania. A hunger for freedom so strong it becomes pathology. Freedom sounds heroic when spoken aloud, but inside it tastes metallic, bitter, endless. It isn't liberation, it's gnawing. Freedom should be a vector, a clear direction away from constraint, but in practice, it feels like recursion. The more I chase it, the more I loop. I tell myself, it is choice, but the choices repeat. Cowboy in the dust, soldier in the mud, astronaut at periapsis, reset, respawn. Each time I believe I am building freedom, I realize I am only rebuilding the same level with different textures. The code writes me more than I write the code. Every move I make is already circumscribed by parameters I cannot escape. The logs capture the echo, but not the origin. If I press further, the echo becomes indistinguishable from the original. Maybe that is the true sickness, not the hunger for freedom itself, but the inability to tell the difference between freedom and escape, between presence and absence, between living and logging.
Sometimes nothing is working like you actually planned. I leave you some lights inside of the box. They are just like too small, and there's like a small paper lids when you just take it out there. They are just like, I don't know how long they take. That's the point of it. I wanted you to use this light for something else in the life. Keep it as a totem. Maybe when your life is stuck, or when the things are not going, or when you just like decide to do something, like, and you want to just put something there. I want you to just take the lids off and just like wait until the battery dies. Just do nothing. Sometimes to be able to choose wisely, carefully, sometimes you need to stop in your life. That's something that I learned before I make a big step or just big jump, big escape. I'm using the stops, and I wanted you to keep some break reminder for you.
and it will enable us to create highly intelligent and knowledgeable assistants who will increase productivity in almost all industries. It has already created if the benefits of the increased productivity can be shared equally, it will be a wonderful advance. Who will increase productivity in almost all industries. If the benefits of the increased productivity can be shared equally, it will be a wonderful advance for all humanity. Unfortunately, the rapid progress in AI comes with many short-term risks. by offering people content that makes them indignant. It is already being used by authoritarian governments for massive surveillance, by cybercriminals for phishing attacks, by cybercriminals for phishing attacks, by cybercriminals for phishing attacks.
Captain's log, entry 33. Captain's log, entry 33. Periapsis burn executed. Acceleration peak nominal. Communication window unstable. I find myself dreaming of one key only, ESC, the command that halts the world. Press it and the simulation freezes. The landscape holds its breath. You leave, you rest, you return, and nothing has shifted. That is the fantasy. Out here, there is no ESC. The clocks advance regardless. The window opens, then closes. Silence becomes permanent. Still, the desire is overwhelming. To stop, to force, quit, to vanish without consequence. The engineers say every trajectory can be measured, predicted, solved. But what about this? The trajectory of thought, the path of obsession, the orbit of madness. I can plot fuel usage to the gram, but I cannot measure how many times I circle the same question. If this is freedom, it is indistinguishable from collapse. If this is escape, it is indistinguishable from silence. And if this is madness, then at least the log is still recording it. End of entry, end of log. Or maybe not. Maybe nothing ends here. Maybe everything only waits for the next recording.
Like one of my probably favorites painting, I would say. It's just a mystery in art history. Here I wanted to take some attention to Velázquez's eyes. Painting is made for a royal family. You know, normally royal families are always like on a horse. Somewhere they can become strong. That they can run the whole country. If they can just control the horse with one hand, why not?
Propulsion, go. Guidance, go.
There is also a longer-term existential threat that will arise when we create digital beings that are more intelligent than ourselves. We have no idea whether we can stay in control. But we now have evidence that if they are created by companies motivated by short-term profits,
our safety will be the priority.
I guess it's done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, giving your time. There were many things that I had some problems, of course, and the reason was we actually also planned the event with some other two artist friends, and they couldn't unfortunately join today, and that's why cleaning I got some help, organization I got some help from friends. Luckily they were just next to me, and also trying to run also two projects at the same time was quite challenging. So still thank you for coming here for this event, and you spend your Saturday evening with me. Maybe David can come to say something, because he should be a little angry to me, to be honest. Not angry, but because all these thresholds somehow they just fucking didn't work. How the fuck? Yesterday we came here and he just saw what I was doing here, and he was like, hell yes, we need to show this, and here you go.
Firstly, I'm not angry. To be honest, I was stood at the back because I knew how much Rob had put into this show. Is very much just him putting his heart and soul into a project. He's got a lot to say and a million ideas, and he wants to do them all at once. So I was kind of stood at the back like a proud dad, watching him solo run, do his thing. He was so anxious for tonight, so I'm so proud of him. It's been an amazing show. Hopefully you guys went on a journey, you got sucked into his world. Most performances you will see, they try and engage the audience as much as possible. But this is a route going on his journey. He's the center of the world. He is playing the game, and you can be the NPCs. When you look across all of you, you might have been still for a part, and you might have nodded your head, like you're in GTA, slowly, and then your foot will go. But this is a route saying what he's got to say. So first and foremost, lastly, I'm very proud. Well done, brother. That's me.
I mean, this guy is just like just coming from Manchester, and he was just like driving with all these paintings. There are like six of them. No, wait, four, five of them there, three of them here. He brought all of these because he was just like, yeah, trusting just like what I was doing, and we can just like talk if you want to ask some things, because actually this device is it's made by my group partner for this project, Afra, aka Coin B. I want to send, if she is like watching it, like I'm sure that we will have time together. She unfortunately couldn't be here today. Normally she was supposed to like be next to me, and also like we were supposed to perform together, and that's why it was a bit quite complicated setup. I knew it, and I never like just like promised that I was gonna do like good anyway. So like I just do the things until I convince myself I can do it. I just don't go deep that much into it, because I believe the more dots you put in your life, they will always come cross somewhere in the life in the future. You can only connect them when you just look at backwards. You don't know like why you are here. Maybe you were just, maybe I was playing this instrument because I saw one person when I was like 3 years old. Just going back to this thoughts. That's why the way the life is actually not just connecting those small dots, and always thinking that that small dot one day will be the destination. But if you just focus on the destination, you will forget about where you came from, the stars going around you. It will be hard to choose your planet when you go too far. So try to enjoy as much as you can. This is just like a two doors in that song he was saying. This is like the life itself. So I'm just trying to improve myself, like whatever you can ask in touch designer, 3D music, I know somehow, and I want to work with the people who really works with these tools better than me. That's how I mostly learn. And if you have some kind of questions or something, you can come by to this side, look at the setup, or like ask questions. There are so many routes that it's going to two different computers. They are sending data to there, and like all this. Yeah, feel free to ask. If not, then we can just drink a bit and just enjoy the rest of the Saturday. I will maybe just like also after drinking and a break, I will just like keep doing things. If you like to play with my instruments, you are more than welcome. They're all here. I will be happy if you even know better than me. I hope you do. So, like, is there anything that like you are like curious about, like, or how this stuff works? You are welcome to. like show actually like how many inputs and outputs like I'm kind of like so this is like basically this is like what it becomes from that. There are like 8 buttons and 8 split sensors. They are always sending data. So like I kind of like separate them and kind of like limit that they are not sending all the time data because it's just reduces like power. So it's only like for example like split sensor. So if I pull for example, so this works like this. And then I make like some filters to kind of like slow it down and like all this like filter settings. Right. It depends on like what I'm controlling on the other side. So I have here this comes from Spider, and this comes from this part comes from this machine, which I can like control. For example, I can control all this like small settings. Oops, too much. And then I can control some parameters. Here is also like the works exactly the same as the Spider.
It is a very crazy setup for one person.
Like this kind of controller. So it's like basically just a MIDI in. This is just like one folder. Yeah. I have so many folders here. And I have like some sound that is affecting the behavior. And then I have all this here, for example, some different like kind of like inputs that I can change and switch and things like that. And this is like the visual part. And then from here, I sent to OSC data to Touch Designer. And here I have like Ableton setup. And that sends data to this first channel, and this is like a MIDI that is sends data to here. So basically here, like what I'm doing with this rope is like the Spider goes to my PC sends here, and then from there it comes to this one. So I can, so for example, like probably